with the whole question of what is the purpose of education, and yeah, I mean, that was the question, and to us it appeared that the purpose of education is more to live. So, which means living, learning, education all become, kind of the same thing, and it becomes important because, or rather, the child becomes suddenly far more important than. Oops, my screen today is. The child becomes. Okay, sorry. Just one moment. Right, I think this is better. Just give me one moment. Yeah, I will little adjust my screen. Yeah, so we believe the child becomes suddenly the center of the learning, and hence the child leads his or her learning according, and that becomes the child's own journey of learning and living, right? So, uh, oops, again some issue with my slideshow. Okay, so. Uh, Sorry. So I was talking about in open learning, we look at child as the leader because the purpose of education is not to reach anywhere, but to live one's life. And obviously, if one is living one's life, one should lead one's life, which means we look at how I can, as a child or even as an adult, be allowed to learn what I want to learn, do what I want to do, how I want to do it, how much I want to do it, and also how I chart my own professional journey, whether I do one profession, multi-profession, start early, start late, be very ambitious, be slow in my profession, however I want. So that's the whole idea, simply because we think that it's not about freedom, but it's more about giving responsibility to the learner of his or her learning. So that's how we look at open learning, which also means that if we look at open learning progression, it starts with exposure when the child is very young, and then moves into exploration where the child explores different interests, which typically is what a 7-year-old would be doing, exploring a lot of different things, moving from one to another. As they grow older into their teenage years, they get into expertise mode where they want to deep dive into one or two domains and gain a lot of deep skills in it. And then subsequently they convert these skills into a profession, which is what we call as the enterprise stage, where they kind of start earning, become a professional. So that's broadly how open learning happens, led by a child, obviously supported by, and that's where we come in with in our case, with the community. Obviously, the first community is the family, um, where the whole thing starts, but then it goes on. If you want to look at something like Aarohi, which is a community of families, so where we are learning, supporting, and co-creating a lot of collaboration, co-creating a lot of doings with each other. Yeah, so that's in a brief what open learning is. And Aarohi as a community operates. People can join from their home. People can join at the campus where I am right now. Also, they can connect and travel to each other, families' homes. So each home becomes a campus. And also they can travel across the world or across India at least for common, excursions and things like that. So that's broadly what Aarohi is in terms of open learning. I'm thinking before we jump into the topic, so we had kept this topic, 7 things my child needs to open learning. Maybe we can spend 5-10 minutes just first seeing what are the basic questions about open learning that people have. I think that's a better idea. So I'll stop the sharing. We'll come back to this slide in maybe 10 minutes or so. 10-15 minutes, and let's see if we have some questions. We have a slightly larger group now. We have Santosh joining. We also have Shreya and Navya and Milani. Okay, so we have more people joining in. Okay, so as you interact, so right now let's just ask if you have any very basic questions or starting questions about open learning or about unschooling, homeschooling. I'm just using the term open learning. Yeah, let's start with that for the next 5-10 minutes. And then we'll move on to this interesting, idea that we got. We'll start by trying to think through what is important and see if that leads to some interesting discussion. Yes, Rashi, you can start, and more people can join us on video. It's nice to have a visual connect, video and audio. So please join us.
Hey, so my question is, as you know, my child is 3.5 year
Yeah,
old,
yeah.
and I am somewhere, resonating with this idea of open learning. I just want to understand that, because there are so many notions which are floating around when it comes to, homeschool or homeschool the child. I mean, like when the child is living their life out of school and they are learning.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes, I get to have some doubts, because,
Mm-hmm.
we are living in an urban setup,
All
which
right.
is like a typical Delhi NCR life, wherein we live, in apartments. And then of course, I mean, like the life is like the child, we wake up, then child is running around and he's picking up the things of his choice, he goes to park, he interacts with other kids, and then based upon, his age, he's asking some questions, and we are there to support him with those things. I mean, like not directly giving the answers, but trying to spark the imagination, or sort of directing him towards finding the answers. So is it enough? Or I mean, like we do travel but not very frequently, like maybe once in 3 months, the child is traveling with us, and then we are meeting friends and relatives. So I just want to understand that when we say open learning and life out of school, um am I missing something? What are the additional things that I can add? I mean, like, because I am a new just on this journey, so want to understand from that perspective, because we don't have any such community like Aarohi here. We have homeschooling community, and we meet very frequently, like maybe 15 once in 15 days or once in a week we are meeting, and we are chit chatting, but we are not doing any activities or sort of things like over there. We just share our experience, that's it.
I think, Rashi, you have actually built the whole context for our 7 things wala slide that I had put up. The discussion which I said we will start in another 5-10 minutes. I've just typed that topic in the chat window also. So I think let's look at what are the needs of the child, and then see whether those needs are being, well, we can't say fulfilled to 100%, but let's say fulfilled reasonably. Will that so I think, yeah, you have just given the preamble to that. And you are talking about a 3 years 8 months old. It could be a 13-year 8 months old also. So different open learners, but by and large, let's see if we first understand the needs and then see how we can fulfill them, or whether they are being fulfilled or not. So if you're okay, we'll kind of,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
gratitude
yeah,
to
sure.
you,
And
push it out
sorry to
for five.
bombard
No, no,
you.
no, no, not at all. That's what I'm saying. You perfectly set up the discussion, but I'm just leaving out 5 minutes just in case somebody has some a very starting questions about homeschooling, unschooling, or open learning. Uh, but this question is one of our main agenda today, so we'll dive into that very soon. Yeah. So just give us 5 minutes on that. Yeah, we'll come back to it. Yeah, meanwhile, anybody else would like to share or ask, or yeah. Nandini, I'm not able to hear you. The voice is feeble. It's coming, but it's little feeble.
Okay, that might be a network issue.
Because earlier when you spoke, it was absolutely clear when you gave your introduction and told us about your son. Now it's clear.
Yeah, it's clear, right? Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
So the thing is, only main thing, as I have told you,
Mm-hmm,
my son is just an outdoor person. Okay.
mm-hmm,
The
mm-hmm,
thing is, I just don't want to put him inside the classroom and say that this is the way of learning. That's it.
mm-hmm.
I just feel, he wants to, he has the rights to learn in the way which he wants to learn. That's it. So when he says that, no, I don't want to sit inside the classroom, now I feel like it's been more than 5 years, like into the normal schooling. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that okay, he is a child by that time, right? So he might not be knowing which is right and wrong, which what he needs and what he don't want. So I just want this basic to be in the normal setup, where he'll go through the normal classroom setup, but still after this he don't want this. So now I asked him, what do you want? He just simply say that I want to be in the outdoor. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No other definition that child is having.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I want him to learn in the way he wants as like outdoor. That's it. So whether Aarohi will suit him or not, that's it. So when I see in the YouTube and all those things, right? So I just felt like okay, there is nothing quoted thing so called classroom. Uh, okay, I felt like okay, this might be a place for him. That's it. I'm not sure, but I want to know from your side itself whether an outdoor person who wants to be really active and learn the things will suit to the Aarohi or not. That's it.
Well, it's the other way around, Nandini. Aarohi is not trying to suit anybody, right? Or in fact, it's not even either which way. Aarohi is all about open learning. Each child learns or does things the way he or she wants to be. Somebody can be outdoor, somebody can be indoor, somebody could be indoor, outdoor, both. Somebody could be everywhere, somebody could be only in one thing. It is exactly honoring that each child is very different and let each child lead his life or her life, how he or she wants to do and learn. So it isn't about Aarohi is not a thing which will suit. It's a community. So the community consists of the people who are part of the community and how they want to learn. So they will, in that sense, co-create that very environment, that very day. Every single day is co-created by the group who is here, let's say, for example, at the campus. So it is to suit that group, right? And it is not about anybody else. It is not about Aarohi is a way. There is no Aarohi way. Aarohi way is the way of the people who are together in Aarohi as open learners.
Okay.
Right? So that's how it is. Right. So it is not about suiting anything in that sense. I don't know if I've been able to convey. Vijay, help me make it a little more clearer if that is a word.
The simple answer is yes. The second answer, the more detailed answer is please come and visit and experience it yourself. So that you
more
can
than us, I'm waiting to take my son there, and I want to ask him, is this the place you are looking for? That's it.
No. See, the question is not just about the place that he's looking for, but it's a place that he'll be happy in, and he can do the things that he wants to do, that you and he and the community, like Ratnesh was saying, can all do the things that you're all looking to do, right? So it's not just that, it's not a momentary thing. It's an ongoing thing. It's like Ratnesh was saying, it's about co-creation. So it is also about living in a community. So it's not like things in Aarohi are set up to cater to something or someone, right? So the best way is to go experience it. So please go through the calendar and schedule a visit. You can find information on the website. And that's the easiest way to answer that.
Also, it is important to know that before you think about whether Aarohi will so-called suit your son or not, let's talk about will open learning, is open learning something you as a family want to embark on? Open learning is a journey, right? Where we are saying all of us are learners, mom, dad, son, grandparents, everybody is a learner or whatever, relatives, friends, neighbors, the whole world literally. And each one can learn how we want to learn, how much we want to learn, and so on and so forth. Now, if that is something that you like, irrespective of whether Aarohi exists or not, you will enjoy the journey of open learning. Yeah. Now, whether you want to be part of Aarohi as a community or and so on is a secondary thing. I hope you understand that. The primary thing
Yeah,
is
the
that
thing is
yes,
that
you should like
the
open
thing that
learning
you
journey.
have
Yeah.
the thing that you have given as the description before, just before this slide, that
Yeah.
was the exact thing that we are looking for. But
Sure.
the
Sure.
thing is, the concept which you people are having as an Aarohi family, we don't find it anywhere here.
Mhm.
That is the main thing, because
Yeah, but the
like
concept that you are talking about is found in different homes. So you do find it in Bangalore. You'll find it in Dviji's house, for example. You'll find it in Pranav's house in Mumbai, and so on. Right. So
okay,
so in that sense, it is found. Yes, it may be not available as a fixed community. Fair enough. And for that, you want to look at Aarohi, fair enough. And Dviji has already shared for that. You please come.
but
But
as you
more
are
important,
saying,
yeah, yeah.
as you are saying, previously we were thinking about homeschooling even. But
Mhm.
homeschooling, I don't want to confuse between home and school for my son. Home is
Right, right.
different, school is different. For my thing, if home is there, he wants to be, as a family. So I don't want to confuse both of that. So I want a place for him to learn where he can go and learn. Once he get back to
Mhm.
our family, he has to be with his mom and dad, not with father. Father as a teacher and mom as a principal.
But
No,
in
I don't want to
Aarohi,
do that.
there is no, so when you are part of open learning, every place is a learning space, whether it's home, whether you're having dinner at a restaurant, whether you're going to watch a movie, whether you are in Aarohi, whether you are traveling to Kashmir to enjoy
Mm-hmm.
the mountains, every moment, every place, every person that you meet, whether it's the sabji wali akka on the roadside, or whether it's, you
Yes,
meet
yes,
a,
yes. Truly, I
so
go with that. The thing
that is
is,
what it is all
that
about.
is life learning, right?
Yes,
What you are
yes.
saying is a life learning. So that every day he is doing that. When you say that sabji wala, yes, to the pani puri buyer, he's learning something daily. So yes, when you say that, I can relate that. So the thing is that will be there throughout his life. But when it comes to Max or English or Kannada or Hindi, whatever it is, when it comes to that, there should be a place for him. So we felt that we have to find out some place in regarding to
So,
his. Can we
so
say it as
Nandini,
academics? Ah,
yeah,
yes, sir.
sorry to interrupt you, but just in the interest of the overall conversation and others also in the session, I just feel that there are certain things that we need to clarify. Aarohi is not a school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Aarohi is not a school. In Aarohi, we believe that learning is an ongoing process throughout life, and it happens anywhere and everywhere as long as we, as a learner, are oriented to learn rather than just live life, right? So every process, like you said, life learning, but that happens the most with the people you interact with the most. So any child or any member of the family interacts the most with their own members, their own family members, more than they interact with anybody else. So every time I interact with my 13-year-old, I'm learning something. I have an opportunity. Whether I use that to learn or not is up to me. Likewise for the child. And most of the cases, and this we see as in infants especially, children are learning the most from their parents. So whether you like it or not, you are the biggest teacher that your child has seen, very likely, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we are a little, I think Ratnesh is also there, we are a little uncomfortable when we say that, oh, we don't want to do the teaching, somebody else is going to do the teaching. No, you don't, nobody needs to teach, the child is
Yeah.
learning.
The thing is, okay,
Yeah. One more
might be a
clarification, Nandini.
separate meeting would help me. Okay,
No.
fine.
Here
For
only. This
time
is the
being,
meeting. 1 minute, 1 minute.
Yeah.
One more clarification. So in Aarohi, there are no academics. Okay. Learning how to play with dog is also academic. And if you want to learn history, that is also academic. If you want to learn about Mughal Empire, that is also academic. Everything is academics, or rather nothing is academics. It's totally driven by the child. There are no teachers, or rather everybody is a teacher, including, as we said, the Pani Puri wala, right? Anybody can be my teacher. or nobody can be my teacher. Okay, I
Yes,
have
yes,
no
yes.
curriculum, everything is the curriculum, right? I have no, as I said, no academics, and everything is academic. That's why it's called open learning, right? It's open to anything and everything. So if you are assuming that when the child is part of Aarohi, Aarohi will take care of certain academics or certain things, no, we will not. Nobody will. The child will take care of whatever he wants to learn. If he is interested in astronomy, for example, he will find out whom he can learn with and what sources he can learn from. It can be a person, it can be a book, it can be a YouTube, or it can be just by looking through a telescope. Right? So the topic astronomy will be decided by the child. The way the child goes about exploring astronomy will also be decided by the child. Right? Nobody else will decide it, though we all can offer him different options and opportunities, which he can select or reject. And that is where the community comes, because one person says, I want to learn, explore astronomy, 5 more jump in, and then the 6 have fun doing the astronomy, and the 6 could be very, very different. It could be Pranav and Dwiji and another child of much younger age or much older age, all together with your son doing astronomy. So it need not be the same age people doing the same thing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that brings clarity in terms of how Aarohi works, and in some sense open learning works, where we are not bound by certain things. Rather, the child leads his life by deciding what the child wants to learn. And let me also add, and the family may say, let's say as a parent, you may say, no, but we want you to learn this. Let's say somebody says, we want you to learn yoga and meditation. I'm just taking purposefully a non-academic subject. Or somebody says, I want you to learn science. Fair enough. And then it's between the child and the parents. If the child agrees, then the child learns the way parents are saying. If the child does not agree, then please figure it out amongst you. The rest of the community will not intervene between that. In the sense,
The
we will
thing
not
is, now
try
I
to force.
totally,
Yeah.
the thing is, the only thing, now I totally got why Sidiction's ma'am told that you can approach this Aarohi for Sidiction. That's it. So that is the
But
thing.
I hope you get little more
Because this is
clarity about,
my
yeah.
this is the my view of giving an education to a child, particularly to my child. He wants to learn what he wants. That's it. He just, I can't tell him that go with this. I don't have rights to do that. That's my personal thing. I don't know about
Sure.
other parents. So the thing is, I just usually will tell the school that no, don't compel him, just make him learn what he wants. So that single sentence itself was totally an against of a normal
Sure.
so-called schooling, right?
Sure.
So that's where now the final school where he is into now, his principal, she just called me and told, ma'am, there is a school this way that would be perfectly fine for you and your son who is having the same way of ideology, so you can approach it. That's it. I haven't found Aarohi. See, my son's current school head ma'am, she just suggested this. So that's it.
Sure. Thank you.
Fine,
Thank
I'll
you.
just go and thank Upasana ma'am tomorrow. That's it, nothing else.
No. Stay on. We'll have a lot more to discuss. Yeah. Bharti, you want
Okay,
to
fine.
ask something or add something?
Hi, yeah. I just wanted to know, I don't know the credentials of you, but personally, I would like to know about the socialization part of it. People are confusing at every turn. You know, he interacts with everybody. If you put him in a group of 60-year-olds, he's comfortable. He's just 6 or 7. He's approaching 7. So he's comfortable with any age group. But when it is almost his age, he's still reluctant to approach them and make the first move. And everybody keeps telling me that it's because he's not in a school, but I'm really against it. And I would like to know whether it is wrong. I should put him in peer group. They say it's peer group is absolutely needed. Is it true? I want to know whether it is really true. I have no clue on that.
Yeah, Bharti,
But socialization part, I'm not
we
very.
don't even marry
He's
same
not.
age people.
Tell me about it. Yeah. So you interact with every age group. You have to, but certain things you learn only from the peer group is what I've been told, and whether it is true or not, I want someone's opinion or expert advice. You can call anything you want.
Yeah. So shall we answer this question here, or shall we move on to our topic today? I know there are more people in the group, because that, I think, I'm sure that will come up there somewhere,
Okay.
the social need kind of thing, right? But anybody else has a quick question about open learning? I think Nandini's questions have given us an opportunity to clarify to some extent. But if anybody has a question, otherwise, today we had a little different format. Let me at least pull it up onto the screen. We thought we will do an exercise like this and use these points. So it's a co-creation. It's not a ready-made slide, or I don't have a 7 things that every child should need. We will co-create it. And that process of co-creation can become an interesting discussion. That's what we thought. So as I said, this is a new format that we are trying. So yeah. So let's see how this leads, and that if this gives us better understanding of open learning. So you have to start sharing. So if you want, Rashi and Bharti, if you want me to put up something here, we can put that as the starting points, and as we put them, we can discuss them. And requesting everybody to jump into the discussion with your views. The best news, Bharti, is that each one of us is an expert, right? It is not that somebody else is an expert, because I am the one who understands me, my needs, and I am the one who knows my child. In your case, let's say you know your child for 7 years. No expert knows your child for 7 years. So let us first listen to the 2 experts who know the child the best, the child and the parent, right? And let's forget all other experts, because all other experts are only coming from some global perspective, which they do because they need to talk to the whole world, but we don't need to talk to the whole world. We just first need to understand ourselves, right? So that's the whole idea. So anyway, so please share. Everybody's view is important. So whatever you think are the needs in open learning. Obviously, the number 7 is just a play. It's a marketing kind of gimmick, if you call it. We don't need to stop at 7. We can go on to 77 also. So no worries there. And we are all co-creating. So everybody's thought is valid and valued, both.
I would say the thing is, 2 would be friend and the interest. That's it. If these 2 are set at a place, anybody can learn from anywhere.
Okay. So one is the child's interest, and you said friends.
Because when a child is getting avoided, saying that you are so, not active or you are different, the community should accept them as they are. That's it.
So are you saying that anybody who accepts the person wholeheartedly is a friend? I think that's a beautiful definition.
Absolutely.
A
That might
lovely
be a teacher, that
definition of
might be
friend.
her. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, superb. Luigi will say, why write child? Just write me. Anybody who accepts me is my friend.
Because no friend will ask anybody to change that until and unless if you are really hurting somebody or out of correct things, a friend won't ask you to change.
Sure. So others, please jump in. Nandini has started the discussion with 2 points. She's saying the child should have friends, and friends is anyone who accepts the child, not same age as Bharti you have been told by experts, but more by the value of acceptance rather than the value of age. I think that's a very interesting definition. And she has mentioned interest. So everybody else, there's so many of us here. Hansa, Manvi, Nalini, wow, lots of people today. Pooja, Priyanka, Santosh, regular, Shreya, Shweta, please jump in and share your thoughts. You can add more to the list, or you can talk about any of the points that somebody else has shared.
Exposure to life, like various activities, exposure.
Okay, exposure to life. Okay, let me number it just for the fun of it, how many we end up having. Okay, exposure to life, yes, sure. Yeah, more thoughts. And people can comment on these. I think that's also important. Let's have discussions also, apart from building the list.
One more thing, hands-on activities like practical hands-on activities. I'm not sure if it is covered under exposure to life, but yeah, wherein child is involved in doing
Hands-on, okay, doing,
yeah.
yeah. In fact, we have a joke that Aarohi spelling is DOING. So yeah, doing, absolutely. Somewhere, Nandini, you have closed the discussion by giving that definition of friends. I think that's so beautiful. You've killed it.
Because
You've
that's the
killed the
only,
point.
I'm just keeping quiet that I just need to give the chance to everybody, right?
Sure, yeah,
So that's why I'm just
Shweta.
quiet.
Please,
So,
you can speak more also, less also.
no, the thing is, that's true. Exposure to
Yeah, just 1
life
minute. Let's
comes
take
under.
Shweta's thought and then we'll come back to yours. Yeah. Yeah, Shweta.
I would like to chime in. I would say love, support, and compassion is absolutely needed in open learning. In fact, in any set of learning.
Okay. Okay, so that's the need, love, support, and compassion. Okay.
Three things
Sorry, your voice is a little
are
breaking for me.
absolutely needed, starting when the child.
I don't know if
I'll try
others
another
can-
time. Maybe is it? Am I audible now? Am I audible?
Yeah. It's better. Please. Yeah.
I'm not sure where you all lost me, but then I was just
Just
trying
repeat
to
the whole thought.
emphasize.
Yeah. We only got love, support, and compassion. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So I would say that's needed, even if my child is going to a school, open learner, homeschooler, into any setup or any kind of concept that we have introduced or we are planning to introduce. I think these three things are very, very crucial, integral. And sometimes in our busy lives, we sometimes do not pay much attention to these three things. So this should all carry whatever you see the child wants to do in terms of any activity, want to engage into some curriculum or any kind of, the child is inclined to do. I would say these three things play an integral role in the overall development of a child forever, and it will stay for him or her forever. If anything,
Sure.
am I audible?
Yes. No, this
Yeah?
was much better.
Okay.
And I also see a connection between 5 and 1 very clearly. Meaning we will have love, support, and compassion when the so-called friends or the companionship that we have is one of acceptance and one of connection, rather than one of that of age or necessarily or of a certain particular kind of people, but more of terms of that we accept each other. Then love, support, and compassion kind of probably will come more naturally.
Yeah, yes.
So I see a connection between your point of that I'm just adding my thought, that's all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, anybody else wants to discuss any of these or add another one? Please feel free. The list can go on.
I feel like it should not be painful.
Now we are talking about needs. So what is the need?
That is what.
There?
That is what. It should
Yeah,
be
so
like.
let's see what it should be rather than what it should not be. So what it should be. If love, support, and compassion defines it, then it would. I'm just trying to keep it as what it, rather than saying what it should not be, we are saying what are the needs, as in what is the need, what is it that the child wants or needs, or any one of us wants. Like Vijay says, even at 45, I want.
Hi, can I chime in?
Please, please.
One second, I'm just switching on my camera.
Sure, sure. Good to have
Hi,
you after a
hi,
long
Ratnesh.
time.
Yes, I'm so glad to see you, Ratnesh, Duji, Pranav. Hi.
I was
And I
thinking,
also,
is it the same Manvi or some other Manvi?
it's the same one, and I also have a little unschooler with me, little one. He's 2 months
Yes.
old now.
Nice,
So,
nice, super. Congratulations.
thank you. So, I wanted to say that freedom is very important. I feel my elder one is now 5 years old, and freedom and respect. I mean, it's easy to give freedom, but it's not sometimes as parents, because we feel, oh, I know better than the child. So we feel that we unintentionally we disrespect the freedom of the child unintentionally. That, oh, no, we know better. This is not the right way. So freedom as well as respecting their decisions. And also, I think time and participation of the parents or caregivers. And by participation, I mean that the parents should also be open to open learning, holistic learning, wholesome learning, life learning. If we do not exemplify, if we give them the idea that we are very caged in our learning, then I don't know how much they will take up that how much they'll be confident in that journey. So these are the points I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
Freedom. And it's really good to see you all. I mean, I do
Same
keep
here,
seeing the
same
videos on I do keep seeing the videos on YouTube, but I've come after a long time.
Yes. Good to have you back here. Again, I don't know why my thought is again going to the first one, that if I wholesomely accept somebody, I would automatically respect their choices, their decisions, their freedom. So again, I'm connecting 6 also to 1. I'm not going to make more arrows. But yeah, at least in my mind, it is again getting connected to that. Yeah. So, Vijay, I didn't get your point in the chat. You want to elaborate on that? You're saying that OLR's needs and learning journey, everyone puts. You are saying that if we want to add to any child's learning, we should ask their permission. Is that what you meant? Or kind of?
It works best only when I am seeking it, rather than when I, as an institution or as a parent,
Yes.
if you want your child to learn something, that will only work, or it will be effective only when the child is, accepting it or looking for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think I wanted it on the list, but you're welcome to put it on the list.
No, you decide.
Actually, you can write it. What he's saying is curiosity, kids' curiosity.
Okay, child's.
This curiosity, it's more related to the point in the second one, interest.
Yeah, interest.
Curiosity.
And desires. And others' alignment to it, right?
Yeah. I was essentially coming from that point about interest and exposure. That
actually that was very true.
Please go ahead.
Because when I asked my son why you are not at all asking anything out of curiosity, he would simply say, because I'm not interested. Simple, right?
बंद करते हैं, हम भी क्या बंद कर सकते हैं, कभी कुछ बंद नहीं करते। 12 साल से साफ तो करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी तुम्हें, बट साफ
we are not able to hear you properly. Okay.
Yeah, Pooja, we're not able to hear you, but maybe you were talking to somebody else. That's okay. But whatever you want to tell the whole group, please tell us. We would love to hear everybody's thoughts.
I would say child's ability to understand self and own emotions and working with it.
Pranav, are you saying child needs his ability or child needs space to understand his or her emotions, etc.? I mean, we're talking about the needs, not the. You use the word ability. I'm assuming everybody has the ability. It's a question of whether we are given that space or not. What were your thoughts? Sorry, am I coloring your thought?
No, in a way it's right. Yeah, but yeah, the need is like basically the need is like one should be able to
Okay. Able
understand
to.
self and understand
And
self and emotions and work around with it. Like
sorry, and
work with it. Like,
work
yeah,
with
work
it.
with those emotions or feelings or handle situations, whatever you call it.
Sure. Again, in my experience, if I understand myself and emotions, then we don't need to work with them. They work for us. It's the other way around. Yeah. But I'm +1, big +1 too. Yeah, that's a need for everybody, I would say, to understand self and emotions and so beliefs and everything. Yeah, everything about self. In fact, that's something which I've been spending so much energy when we talk about the co-versity journey, which is from the 13, 14 years old to the professional age. And we say that very important part of that is to understand oneself and emotion and look at self-development as a core part of that journey. I don't see that being highlighted anywhere, and a lot of people say, okay, but they don't want to discuss that. They want to discuss the professional journey. I say, wait, the self is more important. If the self gets it, then the professional part they can take care. So that's like a little, not a tussle, but a little, back and forth that I end up doing with a lot of parents. So yeah, that's an interesting point. Thank you. More thoughts, more people. Santosh Bhai, Santosh Anna, whatever. some things you add.
No, I think this is a pretty exhaustive list, Ratnesh. I mean, this covers everything in life,
True. But still, if you think something, yeah, most welcome. Everybody else, most welcome. And also, we can discuss some of these. If you want somebody to elaborate, if you want to say, hey, how does it happen in open learning and so on. So we can discuss any of these. So just point to that, hey, let's discuss number X, Y, Z so much. Much more. Like that, we can discuss more.
I also had another one, which is peers, and I don't know how to make it into a point, but I often feel that somebody was talking about peers some time ago. Somebody had asked a question.
Rashi was asking. Yeah.
So I have actually a similar question or a dilemma, whatever you might want to call it, that I do understand children need peers. And by peers I don't mean only their age group. I mean generally they need people to interact with. We even as adults, we need a community. As homeschoolers, we want to we feel better when we are in touch with other homeschooling families. So children also definitely need that kind of support system, and if it is of fellow homeschoolers, it will be better. So I don't know if it is a point that I would like to add to the list, but I certainly have this question: how do we integrate peers in homeschooling journey of children who do not have like a regular community that they are meeting every day or every week or every month, like that? I don't know if my question was clear.
Yes, absolutely. And I think Rashi had, and we had promised her that we'll bring it here. So good that you brought this up and we have put it up there. Yeah, okay. So I want to start by saying, first of all, there are many kinds of peers. Yeah, peers can be by interest, peers can be by age, peers can be by energy levels. When you have a little kid, you have to manage their energy level and you have to be peer to them. So peers can be by anything, by common purpose. So peers can be of any kind, and to say that peers is only by age, meaning maybe that's the dictionary meaning. I haven't ever looked that up, so you can correct me. But in my view, so there can be so many, and the best person to know what kind of peers one is seeking at this point in their life is that individual. So the child will automatically voice it in many different ways. If the child wants a certain kind of peers at that age, at any age, say somebody would say, I want more people to play cricket with, and he may be happy playing it with a 10-year-old may be happy playing it with a 30-year-old. Or he may say, no, I want 10 years old only because I can jump around with them. You don't have, you are an old man. You don't jump around like how a 10 years old jump around, and they laugh at all kinds of silly things. So on. So I think it's up to each child to express. So I'll give you my daughter's example. When she's now 25 and she's been an open learner throughout her life, and she has not even given any 10, 12 college. But the interesting part was at 14, 15 or at 13, 12, whenever we used to ask her, hey, do you want more peers, or do you miss friends? There was no, I'm cool. She was very cool with whoever she was connected with, which was fewer number, let's say, and mostly slightly younger children than her. But when she reached 17, 18, that's the time, actually, 17, this is the time she clearly expressed that I am now looking for, more youth of my age, right? And which is like 17, 18, 19. I guess that's the blossoming age in terms of becoming an adult in that age. And then we didn't need to do anything. She only found out that there is this, and I will go there, and I will do this, and I will do that. And she figured out, and she found her peers also, to the extent that she found a life partner. And this year she got married also to him. So like, you see how things evolve, right? Purely led by the child, nothing done, zero effort by us. Now, I'm saying maybe we were lucky in that sense. I'm not trying to say everybody will get it so straightforward. But what I'm trying to point out is that depending on what kind of peers they need, maybe they will find those peers, or at least voice it in different ways, maybe not in words, but in different other ways. They will say, I want to go there, and we have to see why they want to go there, and so on, right? So that's my thought. So peers is definitely important. Just that what kind of peers, and the child saying it is what is my view. So yeah, when you were talking about Rashi was talking, and many other people, we were all talking about, hey, is this enough? Does the child get enough exposure? I would say there is no enough. Let the child decide. If he says it's not enough, then let's see how we can do it. If he says it's enough, then it's enough.
I just want to add to what you said. I think when I framed my question, I forgot the want of the child. In my mind, it was the child needs peers, the child needs community. So I think one thing that we should actually focus on is the child wanting a peer. Maybe the child ka nature aisa hai that he flourishes well in solitude. Not exactly in solitude, because nobody can, but little bit. So that portion I forgot. Want of the child is more important than what I feel. Oh, you should want that because you will need it. How will you grow otherwise? Yeah. So thank you for that reminder.
There is one more thing I want to say, that at times, we as a parents, when we are looking for communities or peers or friends, so we just want to ensure that we are not blocking our kids by our ideas. So because when the kids are generally younger, the decision of homeschooling or open learning is not taken by them, it's purely taken by parents. So we don't know, by the time they become 5 or 6, what was their requirement, because initial 5 to 6 years we were channelizing all those things. And then when we want to unlearn and learn few things, we step on that I would say fear or a point wherein we feel like, are we doing enough, or is it like, are we blocking the progress of our child? Is there something else which is missing and we should look upon to? So I think it is also a good part, I would say, that we are introspecting our own journey, and we are ready to have a relook at it, and then we are ready to accommodate more inputs, insights into it to make it better and better day by day.
I think you beautifully answered your own question, and that's so nicely you have answered it. If we are able to observe and introspect both, we are done, right? That's so beautiful. I wish I had a video of you and we would have recorded.
So I have
Yeah,
been
Dvijay.
itching to break free of the list, Ratnesh, and I've got a very good place to segue here.
Yes, please.
Just want to throw this question open to everyone. So let's say that we go through this process, we are respectful, we are doing all this. Will we be able to sculpt or create a perfect learning environment?
I don't think so.
Okay, how about others? Let's say we go through all these, we apply all these things. Do you think that there would be a perfect learning environment? That's a simple question.
I don't know whether this will be apt for learning or not, but this would be absolutely a place to live a peaceful life, because that's what I want my child to have. But initially, yes, I felt like this would be an apt place for him to learn, and I have put him somewhere, right? No, that first he has to be in a peaceful place.
Okay.
Then only he'll come to know what he wants to learn actually.
Yeah.
So that's where, when I found the term called respect their freedom, I was like, yes, absolutely. Now
Let's get
I'm in a
more
place to
opinions.
respect his freedom.
Let's get
That's
more
it.
thoughts, if you don't mind, Nandini. Let's get some more thoughts as well. Thank you. How about others? What do you feel?
I think there's no way to guarantee that. And
Okay.
some months ago, I was thinking about something similar, and I told myself that you need to let go of the feeling that what you're doing today is going to have certain outcomes with your child tomorrow, because
Okay.
I really cannot guarantee. I don't think there's any guarantee in that, is all I'm trying to say.
Got it. Lovely, lovely thought. Ratnesh, one more thing to the list: acceptance.
Hey, we have it right up. Number one is acceptance. It's in brackets.
Well, no, acceptance of outcomes, not of people as individuals. Right?
Okay.
Because that's the lived reality.
Absolutely.
Yeah. More thoughts, please. If others could
Santosh has
also
put
please
something in the, he's more talking about co-creation. I'll put that just so that we don't miss that point. So he's saying maybe co-creation.
Yeah. Totally.
Although Santosh, I never thought self-directed learning and co-creation are different terms. So, but that's okay. That's just a matter of semantics.
I agree with you. It's just that the small, nuanced difference between these. We can talk about this later. I mean, when we have time.
It's just words. Fine. Yeah, I think you have made your point very beautifully. So, but we can definitely talk about it. But I don't see a confusion. I'm just saying terms.
Whenever I see this "no, don't know" business, I'm reminded of Donald Trump's world. I mean, anyway, yeah. Anybody who's old enough might remember what that bugger had said.
I want to put that one also. Perfect environment. The child needs perfect environment. How about that? Yes, I'm the one for perfect environment. I need perfect environment every single day, because every single day, whatever happens is the perfect environment.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Wow.
if I look at every day and whatever happens, that is the environment that
It
we
means it's the positive attitude
No,
then.
no positive, negative. That is the perfect one. No, no matter how much negative it is, that is the
Or
perfect
in a way,
environment.
you're talking about acceptance that whatever is happening for the good, something like that.
No, in a way, I'm talking about looking at what is given uh, is is a learning curriculum. In that sense, if you want you to be to use that term, so that is what is, which is why it is perfect, because it is rich, it is replete with learning opportunities. It is filled with learning opportunities. Any which way. If Dwiji comes to meet us, if Navya comes to meet us, it's a perfect environment because we get to interact with Navya or we get to interact with Dwiji, isn't it? Okay. But if they don't come, let's say Navya says, I will come today, but she doesn't come. Now I have a space where she said she will come and I was preparing for that. I prepared lots of laddus and she hasn't come. Now I have an opportunity to hog all the laddus. So that's also perfect environment for me to now think, how many do I want to eat now that she hasn't come? I'm sorry. I'm sounding trivial, but I'm just trying to make an example, a funny example, so to say, that in a way that approach is what a child needs, because otherwise we will always be trying to see if we can fit in something more or something else which we think we are smarter than. It's like the stock market where we think we can outsmart the market, but there is no outsmarting the market. The market is market. That is why it is called market. We can run along the market and see how we can make a reasonable amount of money. Much the same way we can run along the life and see how we can get the peace or the joy or the happiness or the togetherness, whatever are your goals that we are looking for. Right? There's no beating the life. There is only running along the life and creating that. That's how we look at it in open learning, that it's life learning and it's lifelong learning, which is why we are with the life, and every day is like a perfect environment, giving us something interesting, something new. Sometimes the weather changes, sometimes Mr. COVID comes in, and sometimes something else happens. That's the perfect environment. That way. So, and it's not at all philosophical. In fact, it's far more practical, because then we are able to grab, even little things which pop up out of nowhere as learning opportunities. Otherwise, we think only in the objectives kind of thing. What are my objectives for the day, or what are my plans for the day? But the plans for the day don't necessarily lead to all the learning. All those other things that happen in between the plans of the day can lead to far more learning if we are, as somebody said, observant and introspecting both.
So
Sorry, lecture type ho gaya ye to. Sorry.
The last definition of yours was, well, honestly, very philosophical. And if I could, how should I say, if I could make a very concise part of it, what you're saying is that the child doesn't need 7 things. He just needs one thing, or she needs just one thing. And that one thing is the skill to live life. So it doesn't matter, COVID comes, war comes, earthquake comes, nothing comes, or everything comes. We just need to know how to live life. Now, whether that involves knowing science or mathematics or carpentry or cooking, I envy Vijay for this, but I can't cook. I envy, because that's a life skill which I don't have, honestly.
Santosh, just invite Vijay to your home. He loves cooking at others' friends' homes also.
Yeah, I mean, so what I understand from the last point is that really the child needs only one skill, and that is life skill, ability to just live life, and anything can come. I remember Asawari saying this in her, in her presentation once, that I don't care what comes in tomorrow. I am ready to face it. This was probably a couple of years back. She's saying that, this is what I have learned. This is my learning. Whatever comes tomorrow, I can face it. And that confidence actually, is amazing. I mean, at that young age, to have that confidence, I believe that's all that's required. My child needs to know one thing: how to live life. So.
Yeah. And if you allow me to little tweak that, my child needs to know only one thing, that I'm alive. then as Guji is saying, it is ingrained in all of us to learn how to live, because that's how we learn how to talk and walk and everything. It's like genetically programmed, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Yes, Navya, we're waiting for your question. When somebody says, I have a question for you, I said, oh my goodness, now I have to answer this one.
I always had this doubt in my mind. How did you get the idea that, your children have to be open schoolers?
That is simple.
Open
Number
schoolers
11,
for a
Navya.
very, very long time, right?
That's been answered. Number 11.
Number 11.
Yeah, please see the list. My cursor is there. Number 11. It's almost like what Nandini is also saying. If she sees, now she's seeing her child and saying, okay, my child needs this. My child is asking for this in 100 different ways. Right? So when you observe your child, you realize that, this is what she's wanting or he's wanting. Yeah, and obviously you have to introspect on what all mess or what all good things you have been doing. What has worked, what has not worked. Yeah, introspection is
did
equally
this idea
important.
come to you like because of your schooling experience or because you were observing your child and
I think it's observation. No, not my schooling experience, but definitely because of observation, introspection. I just had the benefit that I was also observing many more children because I was already working with children. So if you call that as a benefit, but I think that is the primary way I got it. But I'm sure you can ask Viji and Pranav and Shweta and so many people are there, Hansa, Bharti. I'm sure each one will get it in a different way. Yeah, or from a different context, let's just call it. Nandini already shared in detail how she got the idea. So again, I think it's not one. Yeah.
Thank you, Ratnesh.
Okay, some more thoughts. Some of you have been totally quiet. It would be nice just to hear your voice if nothing else. Or if you can come on video also just to make a visual connect. And just to see what have been your view. We have been like faffing and talking and chit-chatting. So let's see, what are you thinking? What's going on in your mind? It would be really nice. Bhavi, Hansa, somebody's logged in as iPhone. Then we have, who else? Sindhu, Yogita. Please share. I think, Yogita, you pinged me a couple of days back. You are from Coimbatore, right? I forgot the age of your child. 10 years, I think.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you don't call me sir, just call me Ratnesh. Yeah. So if you've been listening or if you've just joined, whatever you are thinking, please share that. This is a very informal, open meetup. Please,
Yeah, sure. As in my case, I'm finding like he is in school, but I just feel like as though just forced to put in an environment that they don't fit in really, because. No, and especially when you have exams and things like that, I feel it's such a burden on the kid. And why are they not able to enjoy the childhood, in the way that they want to and explore things that they really want to, instead of forcing them into a series, into a structure like this is it, you have to do this. So, so these are, something which I didn't feel it's right with my kid, because he was also getting too vexed and he was like, why am I put through all this? And so, so I always had this idea of homeschooling, unschooling, open schooling, and I try to look into the terms and what is on.
Sure.
It's kind of interests me. I feel that is more productive. Yes, we'll have to spend more time for the kid. All that is there. But at least, we can just raise up a kid who has like beautiful memories.
Sure, and I think
And,
Pranav will vouch. It is not that we would have to. That is the joy, the real joy of learning. Pranav, why don't you add to this? This is your main dialogue. Oh, Pranav is driving. Okay, so Pranav normally picks this up. That it is not at all a thing that we will have to do. That is the real joy of open learning. The time we spend together in doing things and learning things and jumping around and horsing around and so on. So the joy that we get, and something that Luigi keeps on underlining, how he keeps learning, will forget what the child learns. He learns from his child and other children that he has been, in community and otherwise interacting with. So I think that's the real, I would say, beauty of open learning. So it's not a task. It's a joyous moment, and Santosh has also talked about that. So that's so beautiful.
Yeah. So just to add to that or stretch that a little further, one of the things that I keep underlining is that you're not doing it so that your child learns something. It's because I'm living my life because I want to live my life, right? And as a process of that, I'm learning. And when I make it into a conscious process rather than just just going with the flow, I'm engaging in my own learning journey. But there are consequences of that when you do it as a family, as a co-traveler, because those you're traveling with can see what you're doing, right? So you don't have to teach somebody to do something. When you do something and they see you doing it, the message is received. I mean, you really don't need to spell it out. And that's one of the things that I feel, I mean, it kind of comes in various items in this list. So I'm hesitating to put another item in this already 15 long list.
No, Adviji, let's put it for the sake of it.
Put it. That you do it and let them see it rather than trying to make them do something. I mean, if you can word it better, please. Maybe Santosh, you can give it a shot, or anybody else.
I've just
I
written
just
it
want
as
to share
me as
one
a
thing.
doer. Yeah, sorry. I just summarizing.
Sorry.
I've just mentioned it
Yes.
as me as doer. That's it. Not as a teacher, but me as a doer. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Nandini, go ahead.
Actually, when I don't know his name just before.
Doesn't matter.
What's his name? Okay. So when he said that, I just remember one sentence that I have told in my 11th grade in a speech competition, that saying that I don't want a place who teach me. I want a place where I can learn. This was the conclusion line which made me to get the first prize. So I was like, oh my God, I discovered that time itself. So I want a place where I can learn. I don't want a place where they teach me. So
Yeah. And just to add one to Dviji's point is, when people ask us, okay, why do we stress that the family should be part of Aarohi community, not the child? We say that's because when you come in as a parent, let's say, to the community, and everybody else, not just the children, all the other adults see what you do, whatever you do, like Dviji does cooking so beautifully, and he does many other things. And then somebody else does something else, and somebody else does something else. It is just so beautiful. It's not that I have to learn cooking or I have to learn what they are doing. It's not even learning. It's not even doing. It's just like being in a garden with lots of beautiful flowers, blooming in all different fragrances. I think that automatically, whatever, enhances me in many different ways, I think. And that is why we created this campus, because we felt that if all of us, as in whoever wants to be at a particular time, can be together doing different things, but doing what each one likes, then the energy will be very automatic. And if you would like, I would like to invite all of you who have not been to campus, come stay with us so that you just experience this. Right. And then you would say, yes, I want to spend time doing what I want to do. I don't need to spend time doing what another child is doing. But when the child sees me doing what I like doing, and when I see a child doing what he or she likes to do, that's it. Then the energy transfer happens. Sometimes we do things together also. We're not trying to, not value that, but I'm just saying the point that Vijay made, is me as a learner, doer, explorer, That's the beauty of open learning as a family.
You see, I mean, in furtherance to this point, I would like to share my personal experience.
Yeah, please, Santosh.
So, see, I am 46, a very lazy person. I have two daughters. The younger one is the one who revolted and got into open schooling. And she's kind of convincing all of us now that that is the way to go. So my experience is this, that tying back to the subject of this discussion also. So we had a brainstorm in our family as to what all things should be included in Ashwini's syllabus. What should she be doing? What does she need to do? And we came into 4 categories. First is academic, second is non-academic, third is volunteering, and the fourth is traveling. Academic is simple. We all know math, science, English. This is what we thought she should be doing. She picked up the Cambridge syllabus and said, "This is what I will do." I said, "Okay." So she started with that. The non-academics, well, she had a long list. She said, "I want to sing." So she is doing singing, and strange singing. She does singing of English country music. So it's vocals. So it's completely, I have never heard of this. Nobody in my family has. So she has educated a lot of us, and we are starting to appreciate it now. She also does Bharatnatyam, which she, I don't know how and when she picked up. There's no dance in our family, any which way you see. But yeah, that's what she does. And she's formed a group, and they found a teacher also, and they do that. She loves animals. So she goes and, walks dogs and cats, and she also goes to animal shelter. She does stuff. Now we were shaken with us because animals can get sick very quickly. We thought you get infections and whatnot. Just came out of COVID, right? I mean, but now we have about no, honestly, I mean,
yeah,
it's
sure.
been about months now, and our family is now a family of animal lovers. We were not like this before, so she has changed us. She does yoga every day, and she is teaching yoga to me and my wife now. So we are 46, she is 12, and you can imagine the difficulty we have. It's tough. It's tough, yeah. And then volunteering, she has taken up volunteering for old age homes here in Bangalore, South Bangalore, and we every weekend we get taken along with her, and we go there and do whatever we can, and that's her way of doing stuff. And traveling, I have traveled a lot for my work all around the world, and I hate traveling. I'm a very lazy person, but then she got this idea that the best form of education is travel. And so we go around Bangalore, Karnataka, gone out, and outside the country as well. And well, we went to Italy recently, and it was not easy to adjust. But then, yeah, whatever. We learned a lot of things. Many a times we had to hunt for food, hunt for God knows what not, many things. But yeah, that was an education. So I was just saying that, she started open schooling, but now the 4, 5, 6 of us, including grandparents, are open schooling. They are 80, 85. Yeah, we are also learning a lot. So yes, I mean, it's right in many ways. Open schooling is for the family. It takes a village to bring up a child, and not just the immediate family. It takes neighbors, it takes friends, it takes Aarohi. To be honest with you, people, 2 years back, when my daughter said I want to do open schooling, I was like, oh no, my niece tried this, and it was really tough. I mean, I wouldn't recommend this. The background is my niece came to Aarohi in 2018. She was a very strange case, and we thought she was mentally sick or something. We took her to Nimhans. We gave her medication. We did everything. Okay, and just didn't work for her. So then finally somebody suggested Aarohi. We came in there for 3 days and ended up staying there for a month. She loved it there. when she came back, she said, I know what I want to do. So she didn't want to do 12th before she went to Aarohi. After she came back, she said, I want to do maths. We said, well, how can Aarohi do this? She said, no, but this is what I want to do. And today she works in the gaming industry. She decided what she wanted to learn. She works in the gaming industry, and she earns more money than her father, who's an IIT graduate. It's amazing, and I'm very happy for this, because she's happy with what she's doing. And to answer the other question as to how will you make money, well, she makes more money than her dad, who has 55 years of experience. So yeah, this is open schooling. You get you get what you want, and it's amazing. It's really amazing. I've taken a lot of time. Thank you.
Not at all, Santosh. In fact, we would like, one of the Saturdays, you and your family to join us as a family guest. That would be so nice to interact with not just you. We have been interacting you, but the rest of the members, Ashwini and other members of the family, how they look at it.
Sure, we'll do that.
In fact, we can even call your niece for Jatre.
Yes, absolutely.
She's superb
We
enough.
are always on the hunt, Santosh, for people like this.
I filed her taxes last year, and you would be amazed the amount of money she's making now. It's really amazing.
It's not the money part; it's the story part. So it's
Yeah.
more of that. Yeah.
Okay, we started with 7 things. We've reached 16. Anybody wants to add a 17th one? So that I will tell people, oh, I forgot that one there in front of 7.
So Ratnesh, Vishal here.
Yeah.
Hi. So
Hi.
I'm just new to this concept, and got to through via Darshan Desai. And learning the concept on the meetings, the informal meetings that we have. Maybe one point what I think we should have is like a platform, because it's where a child learns. Basically, you told it about a playground or a garden or a travel, or maybe something which we might need to provide, or it may come through his energy. I don't know exactly how it comes up, but basically a medium where he gets a chance or opportunity to explore himself or herself. Because it's always like I have tools, I'm learning something, but if I don't have tools, I think to build a tools. So
Oh,
I
but
feel
would you call a home also as a platform? I mean, that's what we start with. We say a home is the first community.
Correct. It's basically a place, and maybe an earth is a place where he learns.
Yes, planet
Yeah,
Earth.
it can be a moon. But yes,
Actually, we when we say the home is the place, which is actually in slightly incorrect place, because incorrect way of saying is because we are never really confined to just that home. We have the neighbors and the relatives and the friends and the internet and the authors
everywhere.
Everywhere. So we are like, okay, so let's put it down. The child needs this world. The planet Earth.
Or we say a medium, because that's how we have to continue even giving to the next generation, right? It's
sorry, what did
maybe
you say?
an online
Medium?
platform. Yep. Or a platform, or an because maybe how do I put it in a word is
Santosh is putting it as a village in that sense.
A lot of things, yes.
Yeah. The other interesting way to look at this is, sorry, just quickly adding a point to this is, if I put it upside down and say, if you need a medium, if you need a village, if you need a world, go ahead and make it. And they actually do that. Because they want it. It's like saying, if I need friends, I'll go ahead and friends. If I need a mentor, I'll go ahead and find a mentor. If I need 5 people who are of the same interest, I'll go ahead and find them. And it's not difficult because there's so many so-called like-minded people of any like-minded or any mindedness. Right?
Yep.
So in some ways, it is not something that, meaning they need, yes, I agree with you completely. And it is one of the needs which they very, I will just call it very resourcefully fulfill it. Because one of the things that I look at children, I say, wow, how resourceful they are. I mean, that's the dialogue rings in my mind almost every day, at least few times a day, because they will just figure it out in many different ways, not just in terms of
Correct.
physical resources, but in terms of intellectual resources, in terms of people resources, in terms of even, I would say, when we were talking about this whole thing about self-development, emotion, even to the extent of how do I, for example, if I have a problem, how do I get it with my emotions, how do I kind of resolve it? So they given that space, they're able to figure it out. So I'm just saying that that's a beautiful point, and it comes so beautifully from them. It is less of our job, it's more of their own learning journey, because that's what life is. Life is to continuously build this medium, this village, this world. When we get married, when we have our own children, when we live in, let's say, different cities and different communities, we are constantly doing this, building this medium, building this village, no? Sorry, फिर थोड़ा philosophical हो गया. Okay, we are almost at 6:29. One more minute to go.
Hello, I'm Anupama. I'm new
Yes.
here. But I just wanted to know about this, what this coercity concept is, because I was actually exploring for my son for his, higher secondary learning, and then I came across that in your site, and I thought, okay. Then I reached out and they said, okay, should join the call and try to understand. So I came a bit late, but I could follow.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay, is that would there be some session on that to understand that?
No,
Or
this
how?
is the meetup to talk about that in as detail, but that's okay. Yeah, you are a little late for today, but first, two things. One is we meet every Saturday, so
Okay.
please, you're most welcome next Saturday and so on.
Okay. Yeah.
And we can also have, if you feel that next Saturday is next week, I can just, if you can, in direct message. Sorry, which is your login? I'm trying to see. You can just
I'm
give me.
Anupama. Maybe my name is not shown. Looks like, okay, I will update that.
Right. So you can just DM me your number and I can connect with you.
Okay.
And maybe you can also. How old is your child?
He's 15, so he
15.
he wants to explore sports. So
Sure,
he's very
sure,
much
sure.
interested in that. So we are, I mean, trying to understand how to support that. So
Sure, sure.
yeah.
Right. So we can connect. I'm also once again writing. If you're not already connected to this phone number on WhatsApp, please connect, and
Okay.
we can see how we can, and help you understand the concept of the Coversity journey, and how,
Okay.
if you want to be at any time, be part of it. And in any
Sure.
case, next Saturday we can have, and there are also recordings, and I'll point you to the playlists and all that, so you can see how others are doing and so on.
Okay, I'll go through that.
Yeah,
Thanks a
take my
lot.
number and ping me on WhatsApp, or you can DM me your number. Yeah.
Thank
either
you.
ways. Yeah, sure. So we've kind of come to the end. We close at 6:30, and well, we did reach 17, and wasn't that the title? 17 things my child needs. I see the title. So yeah, little fudging here, there will work. And thank you. I think it was a beautiful discussion. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And maybe we should have more of these of different kinds. So please suggest more topic. And we will, kind of take it from there and see how we can value it. We also in these meetups bring different families whom you can interact with, and yeah, look out. So just join the group, the WhatsApp group. Just ping us on WhatsApp, and we'll add you to that group if you're not already part of that group, so that you get the updates. Yeah. Vijay, you want to add anything?
Yeah, just that Yogita, whatever Ratnesh replied to Anupama, do the same thing. DM him because he didn't take your question this time
Oh,
around.
there was a question from Yogita.
That's okay. That's okay. She had raised her hand.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And of course, next Saturday.
Yeah, I think Yogita has already registered for the September meetup, which is from 25th, right, Yogita? So,
Yes, Ratnesh.
so yeah, so that's good. So we'll have one more meetup before that. Please come for the Saturday meetup, and then when you are in campus, we will explore, or rather, you will get your answers without talking to me. I'm very confident of that because of the environment. So okay, so see you around. Yes, and anybody else who would like to visit us the upcoming next week, possibility of coming and staying here. But that is also for you, Anupama, to experience this place with your 15-year-old. Is 25th September. So whoever is interested, I think somebody else was also talking about that. Nandini. Yeah. So that's 25th September. Yeah. Okay. So
We
thank
will
you.
be there.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Thank you. And bye-bye. And see you next Saturday.
Bye.
And
Bye.
yeah. Yeah. Bye-bye. The links are there in the chat, the WhatsApp number, everything. Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Sure. Thank you. Bye all.